Hi everybody! A few months ago, Factorio went on sale and I bought it. I'm in around 130 hours and I'm still having a blast. I do find the controls a little awkward at times and I don't care for WASD movement. But anyway, until I retrained myself, I wanted a nice quick visual reference of all the controls. I began by searching Google to see if anyone had already created something like this. I was disappointed. So I decided to make my own. I went back to Google to search for blank keyboard templates. Again, disappointment. While searching for keyboard overlay editor, custom keyboard designer, keyboard layout editor, I found keyboardlayouteditor.com. Here we are at the Keyboard Layout Editor website. We'll begin by selecting a preset, ANSI 104. And the first thing we'll do is get rid of this right side Windows key. My keyboard doesn't have one, so I'm going to get rid of it. We'll start by getting rid of the Alt key. Notice that it's highlighted after I click on it. And don't worry, we're going to change the Windows key to Alt here in just a moment. So hit Delete Keys and it's gone. And then Windows automatically was selected. And if we look below, we'll see the Properties tab, and all we have to do is change Win to Alt, and we're done with that. Now, before we go too much further, each key has 3 lines, and so we've got 3 rows on the top. And there's also 1 row on the front of each key, and that's what this front legend row is. Each one of the rows has 3 columns, and each column is for entering left aligned text, centered text, or right aligned text. And then in each one of these columns, you've got the area where you enter the text. You have a size override and a color override. These colors override the default legend size and legend color down below. Now, just to give you an example of how some of that works, we can take the Alt text from here and move it to the right side. We'll notice that the text moves to the right side, but that's not what I want, so we're going to undo that and get it back the way it is. I mean, if you like it that way, go ahead, but I'm going to go with this. The other thing that's bothering me is this offset or space bar, and I want to kind of center it here. So I know it's as wide as one of these keys, and down here it says that width is 1.25, whatever that unit is, and so half of that would be 0.75, so I need to move the space bar over that much. So I'll select the space bar, and it's at 3.75. So if we add 0.75 to that, we come up with 4.25. And now we notice the space bar is nicely centered. I'm happy with that. But before you go and start adding all of your legends to all the other keys, I would suggest you first think about your color scheme. Trust me, it's a lot harder to change the colors after the fact. I learned that kind of the hard way. But you can change, if you want individually colored keys, you just select on an individual key, and if you want to affect the entire keyboard, you can use a lasso to highlight everything. And so let's see what happens if we increase the legend size, and you can see the legend text gets larger on every single key. We can also change the legend color to let's go with something maybe a little more grayish, and we can change the key colors, and let's pick kind of maybe a yellowish color for the keys. Oh, you can't hardly even see anything there. Let's go with something a little lighter maybe. There we go. That's still pretty bad, but we're not done yet. We can come in, and if you select the Keyboard Properties tab, you can also manipulate this background color. So let's go with like a dark blue maybe. there. I think that's pretty awful, but if we chose to do individual keys, then we could come in here, and if we choose the color override, and let's make these like a reddish color. And so you could repeat that on an individual key. So that gives you an idea of how you can create your overlay, and then add your overlay text in wherever you want it to go. And then it's a good idea to save your work every once in a while. So this download button up here, this is where you can get image outputs of this for further editing, or you can download the JSON format, which is just a data dump of all this configuration, and that's what we'll do first. And we'll just go with their sample name there and select save. And then if we come to our senses and decide to use some better colors on this, we can load that later and make some changes to it. If you want to load a file, you do that through the raw data tab. So I'll go to that raw data tab and scroll down a little bit. There's an upload JSON button. If you select that button, and I'm going to choose another one that I've worked on that I think looks a little nicer. And here it is. This is for a game that I'm learning to play, and I wanted to have a handy reference for it, so I've created a wallpaper that I use until I get everything memorized. So anyway, that's how you can create these keyboard overlay wallpapers for any game pretty much that you want to have something like that. And with a little help from Microsoft Paint, here's the finished product. This was a lot of fun, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I hope you found this useful. And as always, thanks for watching.